Hi, I'm Adrian, the owner of Performance High Vocal Training.
And I'm Justin, producer and coach and stuff at Performance High.
And stuff. That's
And
what you do.
stuff.
You keep clapping your hands. Nobody can see you do that on camera.
I know, but they hear it.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. Anyway, today we're going to talk about open mics and jams, both what you can expect to find out in the wild and what you can find at Performance High. And we're talking about non-pandemic era, so pre and post. Things are all different right now, but let's get into it. So we have stories about like what we've both experienced and what we offer. So where do we start?
I guess let's start with talking about what an open mic is and what a jam is. And I think the big difference would be generally with an open mic, that's when you're just allowed some time on stage. You'd go to a venue, you'd go to a bar and grill, whatever. And you'd get 15 minutes. Sometimes bands will get 30 minutes, so you could take your band up there. And in that case, they don't care at all what you do. So you're kind of on your own.
You're accompanying yourself or providing the whole
thing.
Like,
no one's gonna play with you at an open mic.
Right.
Some of them even have poetry and comedy, and so you just kind of get stage time and you get to do what you want. Whereas a jam is where musicians are going to play together in some format.
Right, together meaning like there's probably a house band and then different people get up and mix in.
And that's for example, when I was like high school age, there was a place I would go and for whatever reason could get into the blues jam, the Blue Monday blues jam, which is, and there would be a house band and there would be drummers and bass players and guitar players, and you'd hang out and get your chance to go up and play 3 tunes or something with the band. Or you might, play rhythm guitar behind somebody else. And then let's talk about the different kinds of jams. So there is that blues jam, which is a very traditional, you're gonna play blues, and you're gonna play maybe a little classic rock, and it's gonna be the kind of, Google it, there's 40 or 50 blues tunes that are just the standards, and that's what you're gonna do at blues jams. If you're gonna do that, that's great for practicing, but you're definitely gonna need to know at least the blues format to do that. Right.
And the key that you want to sing in, if you're singing.
Yeah, if you're singing.
Or the key you want to play in, if you're getting up and playing guitar.
You're going to at least be able to know, if they say this is in A, you're going to need to know what that means. Anyway, the other kind of jam would be the more kind of open jam, which is, I've never done very much, but that's when probably there's a house band, and then I know you were saying one you were going to playing bass for a while was they would kind of put people into groups and say your slot is coming up next, and you guys figure out what you want to do. Yeah,
it was actually more like they would swap out 1 or 2 people each couple of songs.
Okay, so that's the most common. Yeah.
Right. So you got to play with a mix of people. So I would go there, and there's always a sign up, and I would sign up and say, my name's Adrian, and I want to play bass. Sometimes I also want to sing, whatever. And I would wait around, and they would call me up on stage, and I would get up on stage not having a clue what I was about to play. And so another singer who was called up might say, hey, I want to do Crossroads by Clapton, or, well, originally by Robert Johnson. Or I want to do whatever. And sometimes I, as a bass player, would be calling a song because nobody knew what to do, and I would be like, well, I know this song.
Yeah.
But in any case, the person calling the song has to be able to communicate how that song goes to the rest of the people on stage. You can't be like, hey, does anybody know this random B-side from 1983? It's my favorite song. You can't even say, like, do you remember that big hit from 5 years ago? You have to be able to tell people how it goes.
So that means knowing the chords, that means knowing the arrangement, that means knowing that it's easy enough to say, hey guys, it goes D, C, G, and then when you hit the bridge, go to an A. That kind of thing you could call a song, and it doesn't matter if people know it really, because you can kind of go, hey, it goes like this.
And then you cue it as you're going
through the song. And you cue it, so hey, go to the, but of course you would need to know it. That's not the kind of thing you can go to as a singer and be like, oh, don't you know this,
My favorite song.
This song was huge when I was 16. You didn't go to high school in Tallahassee, Florida in 1991? Like, Like, you know, not everybody knows all the same songs. So if you do want to go and suggest a song, it should be a song that is either very easy or definitely extremely popular. Again, there's a lot of stuff online. I've noticed that you can Google, and there's message board threads about, hey, what are good jam songs? And so you can kind of do your research. In a way, it's sort of not cool to show up and be like, hey, can you play this weird song that I don't know how it goes, but play it for me and I'm going to sing it.
Yeah, that's a bad singer move.
That's a recipe for a train wreck. and musicians, you know, like to wing it, but you know,
with some guidance.
With some guidance, and not everybody knows every song. I mean, most even great musicians might not know more than 50 or 100 songs at any given time. So you can't just spring anything on people.
Yeah.
But an open jam is a little more open to doing that kind of thing. The next kind would probably be your high-end jams, where you've got serious players. These are pros, legit pros who are wanting to hang out with each other and jam. And they'll be open to some degree, but you need to be able to...
You gotta hang.
You gotta hang. You gotta be on that level. And that kind of jam especially would be the kind of thing that I would really recommend going to a couple of times before you even suggest that you get up there. That's so you can learn some of the tunes they're doing. You can kind of see how things go. You can say, hey, I've seen you play, you know, whatever, Purple Rain. Every time I've been here, I can sing Purple Rain. Can I get up and do it with you? Rather than, again, just showing up blind. But you really need to be able to hang. That's not you know, the high-end jams are not kind of they're a little more invitation only.
I mean, you could go to them. But as far as
could
getting on
and
stage,
should go, but as far as getting on stage, it might be more of a thing where they're going to ask you to get up rather than you know, asking them. But anyway, and then I guess the jams like we do, which
at Performance High.
At Performance High, those are themed jams, much like Nate Marsh's jams.
Oh right, we didn't even talk about that kind of jam. But
well,
here we are.
You know, it's a themed jam. Where they might do one artist, whatever.
Yeah, Nate Marsh was doing like Shaka Khan and Prince and Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah,
or
they might do 3,
like that, you know?
so that people know what generally is gonna happen, or maybe even had a song list. There was a song list,
yeah,
right?
So you could sign up to play an instrument or sing, but it was a group of 20 songs or something.
And that's how we're doing our jams at Performance High, where there is a decided upon set list. That will go out, not set list in terms of song list, that are, we're gonna pretty much know these 20 songs, and you can learn any of these 20 songs. And the last jam, I mean, people were repeating songs.
Yeah, so like different people saying the same song, that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And so you've got a band, and of course, instrumental people, guitar players, bass players, drummers would be welcome. Keyboard players would be great. But also, I think the big advantage of our jam is we're doing it privately. I mean, you're welcome to come jam, but there's no audience. So it's kind of the safest learn how to play with a band experience. You know what the songs are going to be. You're going to have time to practice those songs. And you know, it's going to be a small band and a few other singers. And it's just a great chance to get to play with a band and learn how to play with a band, I would say. Yeah,
and that's what we're here for too. I mean, jams, especially like the more casual jams like that used to be at Local 42, which unfortunately the pandemic killed, but I think they're going to resume elsewhere. But Local 42 had great musicians for the house band, but was very welcoming to people of all different levels, including me, pretty basic on bass at the time. You know, I could barely hang. But the stuff that we're running is really designed for people who are just getting into this whole idea. So we're there to answer your questions, and we're there to make you feel comfortable and, you know, guide you when you need guidance.
And give you another shot.
Yeah.
You sing it once and it doesn't go well, we'll start it over.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it's just, this last kind of jam we're talking about, which is a private, no audience jam that you're very welcome to come out to and do some tunes. Again, we're not calling songs. You know, you're going to need to learn songs off the list because we're not.
Those are the ones we prepared.
Those are the ones we prepared. Those are the ones we're ready to play. We don't randomly know every song that might come up. But if you learn songs on the list, I think people usually have a month-ish.
Yeah.
So you
At
can learn
least,
songs.
Yeah, in fact, the songs will be on the calendar probably 2 months in advance. We need to get the next one out.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you have some time.
And this is, I would think this would be the best thing if you're looking to join a band, if you're looking to become a professional performing singer, if being in a band that gets paid to do gigs. This is one of the easiest and best, least pressure ways to learn how to play with a band and maybe practice for trying out for some bands.
Yeah.
Or if you're already doing it, it's just a chance to come out and have fun and polish up your skills. And yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
Well, we hope you can make it to the next one. Right now, we're doing them monthly. Maybe they'll be more frequent if we start filling up.
If people start filling up, yeah.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks.